Hi guys, it's Happy Conscious Gal again. I'm filming straight after my last video. It's just I got really cold, so I put this warm fleecy lined thing on. So now I'm warm. Still dark here, so I hope you can still see me okay. I just wanted to continue with some of the things I promised I'd share with you. The first is about phase 3 and all the things I'm looking forward to in phase 3, which is basically the day after tomorrow. So I had my last injection yesterday. I did the first 24 hours on VLCD. Today's my second 24 hours on VLCD. Tomorrow's my third 24 hours on VLCD, so that will be 72 hours total. It'll be day 62 VLCD tomorrow, and then when I wake up the following morning, which is Friday morning, I will be on phase 3. I'm so excited. I'm going to go very gently into phase 3. I'm going to keep eating mainly P2 foods, just add in more vegetables, larger quantities of low glycemic vegetables, larger quantities of fish, larger quantities of protein, and maybe a little bit of coconut oil. And over the next few days, I'll gradually add some stuff in. I do have an anniversary dinner Sunday night, so I've already picked out low-carb dishes from the menu at this restaurant I looked up on the internet, and I think I can be fine. There's a lot of fish dishes. There's a lot of vegetable dishes, so I think I'll be fine on that. So I'll let you know how I go. So here are the things I'm looking forward to on phase 3. I'm looking forward to be able to eat so many more vegetables. I've been vegetarian my whole life. I love vegetables. I've been missing things like eggplant. I miss eggplant. And zucchini. I want to make a big ratatouille. I want to make a whole lot of big stir fries. You know, chuck some tofu in. I haven't been having that. On phase 2, different kinds of fish and seafood that I haven't been able to have, like salmon. And I feel like my body needs to be a bit more alkaline. I normally have a very alkaline pH because I have a lot of green smoothies and green drinks, and I haven't been able to have those on phase 2. So I'm going to add a little bit of that in. I find it very hard to eat raw food during winter because my body does not cope well with the cold. I need to keep myself very warm. So if I do make green smoothies, I'll be putting a bit of hot water in them to raise the temperature. I won't be making so many raw soups like I usually do. I'll be making much more cooked soups and cooked vegetables, but that's still good for alkalizing your body. So I'm really looking forward to that. I feel like I've gone a little bit acidic on phase 2 because I've been eating much less green stuff than usual, and the ratio of protein to vegetables has been much higher than usual. So I just feel a little bit acidic. So I just want to clean that all up with some alkaline food. The other thing I'm really looking forward to in terms of food is I just bought my first ever dehydrator. I'm very excited. I've been wanting one for years and I've been putting it off because I don't know where I'm going to be living in the world. I don't want to spend all that money if I'm not here for very long. But you know what? I just thought, bugger it. I need some things that are fun in phase 3 to help me, and I think having a dehydrator will be really good for me. I found a super cheap one. I really wanted to get the Excalibur. Those of you who know about dehydrators, it's basically like the Rolls Royce of dehydrators. But it's extremely expensive and I can't afford it, especially not after buying all these clothes. So I found one that's like a copycat Excalibur. It's an Australian brand. I bought it on eBay. It looks like the Excalibur. It has the same trays, the same motor. It's about a quarter of the price. So we got it on eBay. It's been delivered. It's sitting up there. See that box? That's my dehydrator. I haven't unpacked it because I'm going to unpack it on the first day of phase 3. Anyway, I'm going to make a whole bunch of stuff with it. Sort of crackers that have some dehydrated vegetables in them, some dehydrated nuts, dehydrated seeds, maybe some kale chips, something like that. And the thing is, you don't need much of it, but every now and then you just want a piece of something crunchy that's filling, that's low carb. And you can make low carb bars with a dehydrator. You can dehydrate vegetables. A lot of people dehydrate fruits. Obviously, I'm not going to do that on phase 3. I have done my latest dowsing with Alan, and we dowsed specifically for me for phase 3 foods. We found that I need to eat lots of vegetables. I need to eat them warm, not cold, because we're going into winter. I kind of knew that, but it was good to confirm it. If you don't know what dowsing is, I explained it in an earlier video. It's basically a form of getting answers to questions with divination using a pendulum, and my partner's very accurate with it, so I trust him. We also found that for me, when we dowsed the fats a few weeks ago, we found the only nuts I can have are peanuts, walnuts, and pine nuts. So that's really annoying because a lot of the dehydrated bars and snacks and balls and things I wanted to make use other things. But I'm going to learn how to make stuff with peanut butter, sugar-free, healthy, raw, organic peanut butter. I'm going to learn how to make stuff with pine nuts, pestos and stuff. Interestingly, when we dowsed the vegetable that got the highest score for me for phase 3, bizarrely enough, was peas. All kinds of peas. Fresh peas, dried peas, snow peas, split peas. They all got 10 out of 10 for me. So I'm going to be learning how to make lots of things from peas. And I'll probably find a way to dehydrate them. I don't know. I'll look into it. If anyone knows any good recipes with peas, let me know. So the other thing that was interesting that we dowsed, this has nothing to do with dehydrating, but I'll just share it with you because I promised I would, was we dowsed the proteins for me. And this has been a very healing experience for me because it validated a lot of the choices that I've made intuitively that I've had a lot of people challenge me on over my life. So the first big one was about meat. I've been vegetarian since I was 12. I never ate any flesh at all, meat or fish, from the age of 12. At the age of 30, I added in some fish because I was doing a low-carb diet and I wanted to add in some fish for that to make it doable, but I never added meat in. I've never been remotely tempted to eat meat. I've never had a single craving for it in my life since I started eating it at the age of 12. I've never ever felt like it, not once. And in fact, if you held out in front of me a piece of meat, a rock, and a piece of bread, I would feel the same way about the meat as I do about the rock. I don't eat rocks, why would I eat a rock? I don't eat meat, why would I eat meat? But the bread, I might be tempted, I use willpower, and I think about it, what do I do, I want to do. But the meat and the rock, I don't eat rocks. So it's just been totally never in my radar because I just knew I never wanted it. I just had this thing as a child, I don't want to eat dead, rotting flesh. How am I going to digest it? I mean, why would I want a dead animal in my stomach? It just always creeped me out. I had an intuitive feeling I couldn't digest it. And it's very interesting because I'm not militant about it. I've never told anyone else to go vegetarian. I don't mind if people eat meat in front of me. It doesn't bother me the smell of meat. Nothing. I have no problem with it. My boyfriend eats meat. My friends do. I've got a lot of vegetarian friends, obviously, and a lot of vegan friends, a lot of raw friends. But I don't choose my friends based on what they eat. So I've got lots of people in my life. My dad eats meat, whatever. But I've just always known it doesn't suit me. I've had so many people over my life say, you should eat meat, it's good for you, it gives you iron, blah, 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 and all this kind of ignorant stuff. Anyway, I was so incredibly heartened after we did the dowsing because Alan is O blood type and he does sometimes have cravings for meat even though he's mainly a raw foodist. Every now and then he gets the urge for really good quality organic beef, farm, fresh, none of the processed supermarket stuff, but really good stuff. And he has it, he feels great. And I just don't have those cravings. So when he dowsed meat, he got 10 for a lot of the meats. Because he's O blood type, he needs them. I got 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10, 3 out of 10. The highest score I got for any meat was 3 out of 10, which means my body might be able to tolerate it once or twice a year. And I was like, wow, I was right. All these years, and so many people tried to tell me I was wrong about my own body. So that was just a massive relief to find that out, really, because I trust him. His dowsing's very accurate. So the second thing that was very validating was that I've always really enjoyed eating tofu and tempeh. I only eat organic tofu because non-organic is made with GMO. Basically, don't eat anything with GMO. It's toxic. It's not real food. It's chemically altered and engineered. Just look into it. If you don't know about it, go and look into it. But anyway, I've always really liked organic soy stuff. And I've had a lot of people, including my HCG clinic, tell me it's bad for you, it's estrogens, too much estrogen, it gives you period pain, it makes you fat. And a couple of years ago, I stopped eating any soy, hoping it would fix my period pain and get me to lose weight. And it didn't do either of those things, it made no difference. Anyway, when we dowsed it, Alan got like 1 out of 10 for soy products, and I got a 10 for organic tofu, an 8 or a 9 for tempeh, and I got an 8 for malt-free soya milk, which is the basically low-sugar soy milk. So I'm like, wow, I was spot on with that as well. It is good for me. It's really good for me, which I knew it was because I've always felt great after I ate it. So it just shows that all these things we hear of as being good foods or bad foods are good for some people and bad for others. And we need to all trust what our body's telling us. If your body tells you it craves meat and you feel good after you eat it, then eat it. Make sure you get really good quality organic stuff that doesn't have chemicals and hormones in it. If your body's craving soy and you feel good after it, then eat it, but get really good quality stuff that's not genetically modified. If your body's craving this or craving that and you feel good after eating it, eat it. trust yourself, because that's the confirmation I've had, and I'm incredibly grateful for it. It's taken a huge weight off my shoulders. So in phase 3, I'll be eating fish. I got very good score for most fish. A few fish I didn't, but most of them I got good scores for. I'll be eating tofu. I'll be eating pea protein powder, because as I said, I've got brilliant scores for peas, including pea protein powder. Terrible scores for whey protein powder. I have fairly good scores for healthy dairy food. So I feel like I've got a lot of good stuff I can eat on phase 3. So that's cool.